Hey, how's it going? Coach Kyle here, and I had a person I've been kind of working with a little bit over the last few years email me, and she has a 10K this Sunday. The course map is out, and it is much, capital MUCH, much hillier than last year. And she's asking, let's see, where is it? Not sure what's up and what's down, blah, blah, blah. At any rate, I just want to get a general note from you. If it is best to run up and slow down on the decline, or take it slow on the incline and and fly free on the decline. I've been experimenting with both in my training, but I really can't tell which is best. And this is a very common question and a common concern and a common mistake people make, is that in races they try to not slow down on inclines, or they try to push it a little bit. They might slow down, but they're still running at a fairly high effort going up the hills. And this is a mistake. Almost every time, it's better to slow going up, walk if you have to preserve that stamina so you get to the top and you're not expired. And then, as she said, you can fly free on the decline. Years back, I swear to God, I read a study on this. I can't find it. I've tried, and it found. I think they looked at runners during a race and recorded if they how they did the hills. If they ran a little faster or a little slower going up the hills, compared it to going down the hills, compared it to the finishing place, and the runners that slowed more going up but were able to speed up more going down and have more stamina for the rest of the race were generally more successful. And that's what I slow a lot when I'm climbing. I slow quite a bit. If let's see, last spring I did a 100K, and it was a 3.8 mile loop. The first half was basically up, and the second half was basically down. And I jogged, speed hiked the way up, and I ran the way down. I didn't start in first. I didn't start or go through. I was not in first place for a long time, but I eventually caught the. It was a very small race. I eventually caught the few people that were ahead of me, and I ended up being the first to 100K. So, or even there was a 4 miler. The Fool's 4 miler. I don't know if it was this year or last year. I think it was this year, and it was generally a flat bike path, but there were a couple little climbs, and I slowed for them. I even walked up a real short, steep one, less than a mile to the finish, and I won it. So I preserved my stamina. I didn't. And the other few people in the lead group with me, they ran up that last little short steep hill, and I ended up passing them, and I ended up finishing first place. So it works for me, and unless we're in like the last mile or so when you just gotta crush it, I probably would generally take all hills that have a noticeable incline slower. We're not talking like a slight incline over 4 miles. You would probably slow in such a case a little bit, but I'm talking like a tenth of a mile, a quarter mile, nice, decent incline. Now, if we're talking about in training, it's a little different. So I like incorporating. I don't have my clients do a lot of hill repeats, like hard uphills, because you don't do that in races. I like to have them incorporate rolling terrain in their easy runs, though, because like I just explained, if you're gonna have some hills in your races, you're gonna take them easy. So incorporating them in your easy, normal, habitual jog days is a little more applicable to what you'll do during the race. Now, for the workouts, I have my clients do flatter, more high quality workouts on the track on flat surfaces. So they're not doing no workouts. They're doing more You're just doing flatter workouts. Now, if somebody was, of course, training for something with a lot of hills, where they would have to run hard up them for some reason, I would probably have them do some more of that. Early on in a training cycle, I might have a client do real short, steep hill surges, but typically those kind of change or evolve to flatter, longer 1K, 1 mile type repeats. We might still sprinkle those little hill surges in with or instead of strides during easy runs, but it's not super common that I have my clients do actual dedicated, like quarter-mile hill repeats or something. I'm more inclined to have them do quarter-mile downhill repeats, actually, but that's a totally different topic. But in training, it's very important to still slow down for your hills. If it's an easy run, keep it easy. You got to slow on hilly terrain. That's just how it works. There's a kind of a famous story about this author, researcher who I think he visited some Scandinavian country, and some of the national some of the national he was out for a run, and he came across a lady who was on the cross country ski team, like the Olympic caliber cross country skier, and he was kind of behind her a little bit, and I don't know if she passed him, and they got to a hill, and she started walking, and later on this guy actually talked to her coach, and I think, if I'm remembering the story correctly, the coach actually said, yeah, it was an easy day, so she walked the hill. And one of the main problems I see with runners is that they don't practice true easy days, and you gotta run slow, you gotta run easy for your easy days, so you can run those runs well. You don't accumulate fatigue. You can run farther, more consistently, more frequently. When you do your hard quality sessions, you're a little more fresh because you ran easy during your easy runs, so you were able to get the volume in, but rejuvenate from the workouts and prepare for the hard quality sessions. So that's my hill spiel for the day. You can train for 3 months, 5 months for a race, and you can frack it all up by running the hills incorrectly. So there's a lot more that goes into running and successfully completing your goals than just doing the training. And part of that is successfully, smartly executing the race. And part of that is running the hills properly. And now you know how. So I hope that you can take this to heart, and I hope you have a slightly more successful next race, because you take the hills a little slower, you get to the top feeling a little better, and you pass some people going down, you pass some people in the final third of the distance, because you were able to properly pace, preserve your stamina early on. So good luck, have fun, and as always, you keep running, I'll keep coaching.